an amazing instrument. It has developed into an incredible voice in today's music. So many types of guitars, so many styles of playing, all sorts of gear. How does one make their voice be heard as a guitarist? My name is Jeff Floro, and welcome to All About Guitar, where we talk tone, we talk technique, we talk gear. Where we discover how we can become better musicians in a world of constantly changing technologies. Where we take a good look at everything guitar, and sometimes not exactly guitar, but just as important, so we can be more successful as a musician in today's music scene. So sit back and relax, and let's explore all about guitar. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to All About Guitar. We have a great show for you tonight. My guest is Steven Elowe, who I met through JP and Liza, who are here in studio tonight. And if you guys are, if you're near Facebook, we're on Facebook Live at LA Talk Radio, and you can check out everything that we're doing here, because we got some interesting gear here. And then also, besides JP and Liza being here, a very good friend and great guitar player, Jeffrey Marshall, is coming down to hang with us and check out some of this really cool stuff. But first, before we start, I just want Steve, kind of go through your background a little bit and give us a little bit where you're playing, where your influences, all that stuff, and go from there.
Well, I was born many years ago. No, I started playing at about 8. My sister taught me to play. She used to play in USO clubs, all over the place in a folk band.
love that your sister taught you to play. That's awesome.
She totally did. Well, actually, I take that back. She gave me one lesson, and that was it. I was done. It was put that damn thing down, all from my mother. But so at any rate, but yeah, I grew up in bands. I started playing in bands by the time I was 10. I think I did my first commercial when I was 13. Session guy for a while. I had a couple solo record deals that went nowhere, like so many do. And stayed a session guy for a long time. I played a lot of club bands, a lot of this and that. Playing a lot of tribute bands now because it makes money. So yeah, my battle cry lately had been, you got $1, I got an open night, I'm in your band too. Mm-hmm. And I have a real problem with the word no. Ask anybody at my house. And then I worked at Roland for many years. Well, not many, but around 5 years. In marketing, and then Avi had started talking to me way back then with Boutique Amps distribution, and I think then it was only B-52 and Egnator at the time we started talking. Mm-hmm. But years later, it took about 4 or 5 years, he was going, okay, I really need you in here now, what's it going to take? And that's a whole nother discussion that we won't. But it didn't take much, and I was there, because at that point, now he was working with Dave Friedman, Joe Morgan. Well, what it is he owns, Avi owns Egnator, Tone King, Synergy, which we're going to talk about a lot, and B-52. And then he made manufacturing deals, like 20-year-long manufacturing deals with Dave Friedman was first. And he made, took Dave from a well-known boutique, little bit at a time guy to a world name that has,
You see Friedman's everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's amazing.
And Dave, I'll finish with boutique first, but Dave came aboard, and then Joe Morgan, and we'll talk about Joe Morgan if you don't know who he is.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Peter Diesel came aboard, so we make Diesel in the U.S. Reinhold Bogner, we make his pedals. Reinhold still makes his amps, but we make all his pedals. Brian Wampler came aboard. We make everything for Brian. It's the candy store. I worked the candy store. I remember the first day Bobby brought me in, walking around. He's trying to explain to me what I'm going to do, and he's blabbing away. And I'm just looking on the shelves going, oh my God! I'm never going to make any money. It's true. Because every time we make something, I mean, it's such an exciting place to be because we have this whole brain trust of all the best amp makers in the business. I mean, a lot of them anyway. And there's some great ones that haven't come aboard, but boy, is there a pool of them to have. So that's where I am now, still playing in a bunch of bands, still, do a lot of stuff. But I'm proud as I'll get out to represent this gear because it's so fun.
The Maseratis, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis of our world.
And I get to test it all before it goes out usually and stuff like that. If there's a pool of testers.
Bummer for you.
Oh my God. It's so...
Well, it's interesting too because a lot of the stuff here, and I warned everybody, these shows go by really fast, as everybody here has been on the show knows. So, but there's a lot of cool stuff here. So if we don't catch it all today, we just have to have you come back and stuff. So I think we should start with, because everybody was buzzing and JP like texted me, you got to check out this site, is the Synergy system. So let me go ahead and have you explain that, and we can demo. I think you're already set up to play it.
Yeah.
And he brought a special prototype module that's really hip. So I want everybody to take a look at this and what's going on. And you can share with Jeffrey. I don't have enough headphones. You got to hear this thing. It's really cool.
Well, first of all, synergyamps.com. Everybody go there when you have a chance. Not now. Just stay here. But... I'll let you know when to go. So synergyamps.com. What we did, this started years ago. Bruce Egnater kind of started it all probably 10 years ago, I want to say. If some of you that are listening probably remember those modular amps, with hot swappable tube modules. Mm-hmm. And Bruce was designing all, he did a B-Man and a T Deluxe, and then I think Dave Friedman helped with the 800 and the Plexi and things like that. But then it just never quite took off right. Avi wound up buying it from Bruce, but Bruce still designs a lot of the stuff. And then we started approaching, like the one I'm holding is a Metroplex. George Metropolis designed this. He gets a royalty from it. So that's the one thing we do that's different than most companies do, is when, they'll do some kind of emulation of an amplifier, but they won't.
That's what we're talking about, the Helix, the Kemper, all of these other amps.
They don't pay any royalties to these guys. We're in partnership with these guys. So George Metropolis designed this, and what this is has two 12 AX7s in it. Looks like that. This one is the new one by Dave Friedman. It's a BEBB. It's a Buxom Betty clean channel with a BE dirty channel. They're all 2 channels. They're all tube. And then it goes into the, I don't know if you can see this box here. You want to lift it up a little bit. But that's a Syn 1. That's the kind of the entry level or the travel. This is what I throw in my backpack when I do fly gigs.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a bit of weight to it because it has the transformer. It has another AX7 in it, or 12 AX7. And it has all the circuitry in it. But between this and that, it completes an actual tube preamp circuit.
So there's tubes in here. You can hear the tube.
Yeah.
You can see the tubes, I mean.
And the companies that we've partnered with that are coming up, like Reinhold is making one. Engel, we have the Engel Savage that we demoed. We brought out at NAMM. It's being worked on now. It hasn't released yet. I brought a prototype that Bruce Egnater designed of a Dumble Overdrive Special. That's what's in there right now. So there's Mike Soldano. We have the SLO. So
that's been around for a while, right? The Soldano's at least a year old. Or
yeah. That was one of the first ones we made. So all the ones that are kind of name brand ish, they get a royalty. And so I got in a discussion with somebody about this the other day, where they said, well, the ones that are Synergy brand, why should they be as expensive as the ones that George Metropolis or Mike Soldano make? And I said, well, look, for the companies that haven't partnered with us, you have this brain trust. It's all part of Boutique Amps Distribution, which is like 10 of the best companies in the business. So, for instance, Bruce Egnater designed, the Dumble in there. Dave Friedman, it's a Friedman module. I should probably use something else. But the point is, everybody listens to it and gives their opinion. So you have a brain trust of at least 5-6 master amp builders, plus a whole team of testers. You know, myself, I test them and this and that, and you get a lot of opinions. I said, you don't think that's worth $399?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. For $400 to get a $4,000 amp.
Yeah.
You know, how much are Friedman heads? They're $3,000, $4,000.
Yeah, 3,000-ish. The diesel VH4.
Or a Dumble.
Yeah.
It's like a down payment on your house.
The cost of the single housing is X, and the cost of the double housing is how
Okay,
much?
the Sin 1 is $499.99, and then all modules, no matter who made it, is $399.99. So under $1,000. And if you think about it, there's 3 distinct markets. Those of you that saw me do this for Anderton's last year at NAMM, I'm going to give the exact same speech because it's true. 3 distinct markets, if not 4. One, and the biggest, is the guy that thought he couldn't afford a boutique amplifier. He doesn't have $3,000 to spend, but for under $1,000, now he has either something he can run into a powered speaker, straight into the board, straight in. We thought about every way you could hook it up. You know, a direct out, you can go into the effects loop of an amplifier, a series effects loop, and it turns, I demo it with a Blues Deluxe. And I put it into the effects loop on top of the Blues Deluxe, and it gives you another 2 channels on top of your other one. We don't take any sound away from your Deluxe. There's a bypass button on both on the box and on the floor, on the foot switch. And when it's bypassed, it's your straight amp. No sound, no level, no nothing taken away. We also didn't take away your effects loop. There's an effects loop in the box. But with going out of the other effects loop into the effects loop of your amp, you've now added 2 boutique channels to your amp. So most of these, you know, guys that can't afford necessarily a boutique amplifier, they probably have like a Deluxe or, you know, a Katana or something like that. You can go into the effects loop, and now you have a boutique amplifier for under $1,000. So I think that's a huge market.
Yeah.
Well, and it's the real circuit.
It's
That's the thing.
actual amp. It's the
Yeah.
actual amp. And I'll tell you a good story about that on the third example. But the second example is the traveling musician, like all of us.
Yeah.
I throw that in my backpack, and I've now defeated any backline challenge I've ever had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll tell you 3 stories. You know, San Manuel, if you guys have played there, you know, the casino
Casino, yeah.
can't have amps on stage. So it's direct out, just like we're going here, right into the board. And it comes through my wedge and through my ears, and it's great. I flew to New York for a gig, and they gave me this just destroyed twin with no effects loop. So I came direct out of the 1/4-inch main out, right into just like an expensive pedal into the guitar input, and it totally solved their crummy amp. And then another time, you know, I went and I had a Deluxe, so I went into the effects loop. So there's all kinds of ways you can use it.
So the 1/4-inch is like guitar level out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we're
the
right now
XLR.
plugged in. We're plugged XLR into line N.
And it has built-in cab sim, which you can defeat. And that's my next story, because the third market is the recording studio, and what recording studio wouldn't want. And I believe Charles will allow me to say this, but Charles Scott from Bad Robot Productions, you got that-
Huge television production company.
well, television,
Film,
and
film.
little movies like
Yeah.
Star Wars and Star Trek. It's J.J. Abrams' company.
Yeah.
Charles Scott is their musical director, and he reached out to me and said, I've been studying this synergy stuff. I'd really like to kind of test it out. What do you think? I said, I'll be there in a half hour. And loaded my car up and drove down and go into this gorgeous studio. And this guy has every toy known to man. Just like you were saying, you know, Kemper and Axe Effects and everything. He has full Metropolis head with a cab load on it. You know, he records with everything you can imagine. Plugged my stuff in, bought it on the spot. And he said this. He said, you know what? I love my IRs that I've created and my Axe Effects, but this is the first time I've been able to use something like this, and it feels like a real amp. And it's because it is a real amp.
Oh, that's great.
So
man.
it's just, I get so excited about this. I'm like a cartoon character bouncing off a
No,
wall.
it's so exciting.
I don't know if I'm going to jump ahead in the stories, but there was something that you told me that I found very interesting because of the one that holds the 2, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
I
you
didn't
get the
talk about that.
2 channels, right? The channel switching, but then
Yeah,
you've got 4.
Yeah, 4 channels.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, because that sounded really cool.
The Syn 2, there's a lot of different versions of it. You go to synergyamps.com and there's all kinds of stuff. But there's a rack unit that holds 2 modules. We also, Steve Fryette designed the power amp, the Syn 5050. So it's a stereo power amp. So you have a whole rack system. Then we're just coming out with now the heads and combos and things like that for people that, like the look of a real amp. We have a Syn 30, both head and combo. It has its own onboard clean channel, which is gorgeous.
Nice.
6v6 30 watt. It's gorgeous sounding clean channel, and it'll run without a module in it. But it has one slot per module. So you've got a 3-channel amp. Then we have, it comes in a combo and a head. And then we also have the Syn 50 head, which it doesn't have a clean channel, but it holds 2 modules. And it's 50 watts. So there's all kinds of ways to hook it up. It's really just such fun
Brilliant.
stuff.
Yeah. So you're looking for you have a Bogner on one side and then a basement on the other. So you have the
Yeah.
clean and the dirty of the basement, the clean and the super, go dirty or dirtier on the Bogner, and then we haven't even gotten to the pedals yet, which Bogner and all these other. It's
Friedman,
amazing. Friedman and that's some
Now,
beautiful stuff down here.
Those the 30 watt and the 50 watt, are those tube power stages or are they
Yeah.
solid state?
No. We
They're
make
tube.
nothing solid state.
Okay.
No
so
Class
it's
D for you.
No.
Okay.
We are tube people.
Right on.
So those combos, that's actually a cool little idea. I mean, 4 sounds out of one combo, a 50 watt. That's pretty cool.
Or into your effects loop of an amp, now you have 6 channels.
Now, and also too, those amps, it has all these outputs, right? The amp simulator and the line out.
Yeah,
those
the cab
combos?
simulator.
The combo amps, so you can still use them.
It's all the same. Everything's exactly the same. There's also a sag control on it, which kind of, I'm blanking. I don't remember whether Bruce designed that or that's another Fryette design, and I'm going to get in trouble for this in the morning. But there's a sag control in it, which kind of emulates the sagging of the tube, and you can adjust that to to the feel that you like. You saw me messing with that earlier, the little red light that came on. I'd get it to just when I'm digging in to just start to blink. And that's where I like it.
When in the cabs for this, can you go? Are they all 6L6 or EL34, or can you choose? Or you guys made a solid choice?
Yeah, they are. Well, that whole tube switching thing is difficult because a lot of them take different sockets and different wiring to. They're biased differently, so you really, it's not a. There's a couple amps that you can do that with, but not many.
But you do have to commit. So so the synergies
No,
going
it
with
is what it
6L6s?
is.
Or
Well,
do they
the
have
50
different
watt,
flavors?
I believe, is 6L6s. And I'm sorry, I'm not remembering right off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure the 30 watt is 6B6s.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I love a 6v6.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to break up a little bit easier. So.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a listen to this one. Now, this one has the prototype Dumble in it.
Right.
Now, I touched it, so I might have to bring your gain back up.
Let me bring you. There's a volume and a gain on that.
Okay, you should be on.
Playing a really nice Friedman
Is this on?
double
You should be.
double humbucker
No, it
strap.
wasn't.
There we go.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
If you don't see lights, it's not on.
And it's going to take a second for the tubes to get on.
Yes.
But he's-
Friedman Guitars, by
we-
the way.
yeah,
Made by
two
Grover
Friedman.
Jackson. We'll get into that.
And he's Jeff Street's holding one with P90s, a really cool kind
They're-
of 70s Telecaster.
They're Dave Friedman designed P90s, and then Grover Jackson hand wires them. Does all the
Oh,
work.
wow.
I mean, Grover Jackson, that boy can make a guitar.
You got to check these necks out. I was
Oh,
playing
they're
them before.
His
amazing.
neck is wild. on
It's
this
ridiculous. But they're the two different profiles. This one is a little, more telly-ish, and that's the more California style. Right. So they're amazing guitars, and they don't all come beat up looking, but I happen to like them beat up. The guitars are a whole nother story.
All right, let's
Anyway.
go ahead and try this.
Okay. So is it on the blue channel?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a little, so nice and clean. And then as I turn it up, sorry. And then you go into your, so it gets nice and, but it has all the controls like an OS, an overdrive special.
Yeah, no, and it gets that compression, the tube compression.
The tube compression.
Even in the clean sound, you're getting that
Yeah.
fatness.
And then if you want to swap it out real quick, all you do, you can hot swap it,
You
but
can
I,
hot swap. Okay,
I
that's
suggest you don't,
damn.
because it's better if you do. But you just unscrew it and slide it out,
Now, which module is this?
This one is Dave Friedman's new BEBB. It's a Buxom Betty clean on the blue channel and a BE channel on the red channel. Just give it a couple of twists on the screws there just to ground it.
Okay. And you should be on.
Now, I haven't set this one up, so you might have to play with the gains and the volume and turn
Okay,
it
go ahead.
around.
And give the tubes a chance to warm up here. 12 seconds.
Yeah, you're on the blue one. That's the bottom.
That should be your clean channel, so turn your gain to about maybe 9 o'clock maybe, and turn the volume up. Nice and fat.
Now I'm putting the EQ up straight up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And where do you have the red channel set?
The gain's up
gain-
all the way.
Turn it down just a bit,
Okay.
and give me some volume.
Now, do we have the speaker emulator on? I can't tell.
Yeah.
That's on. Turn it off so they can hear the difference. Okay, it's off now.
Oh, that's tasty.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't see it.
So yeah, it's kind of silly.
It gets that sound. It sounds like a Friedman.
Yeah.
I mean,
And a
playing
nice
with cab and a power amp and miking it, it would even be closer. But it's pretty close. I mean, we're not tweaking it in a
no,
studio
there's
with a little
lots.
bit of reverb or whatever. It's pretty close.
Yeah. So they're really nice. This one was made by George Metroplex. Like I said, this is a Metroplex.
Do you want to put that one in?
It sounds wicked.
All right, I'm
I
gonna
use
turn
this
off.
live a lot. I could live on the blue channel in this one.
Push a cabinet? Is that module right there?
Oh
push a
yeah.
cabinet?
Well, it won't push. It'll push a powered cabinet.
Oh, okay.
In other words, there's no power in it.
No power.
It's just a preamp.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But to be able to tour with your sound and not
Yeah,
have to worry about
Exactly,
it.
and it
man.
takes pedals. Great. I've got pedals in it right now. You heard a little bit of delay on it. I've got that in there. And okay, I thought maybe I hot swapped that one, but
No, I turned it off.
Pass it over to Jeff's.
Okay, I think this is set up the way you had it. It's on the blue right now. And again, I'm going to show you guys. You can see the tubes in there. It's a tube circuit.
Really different voicings.
it's set up the way I have it live, so that's why this one's kind of dialed in more. Yeah. I like that one quite a lot. I like them all.
nice-
I
Now,
mean,
what is in there right now? The
that's the Metroplex.
Metroplex.
And then this one is the B-Man. Now this is designed by Bruce Egnater. After what it sounds like it's after. And it's just a whole bunch of fun. This one,
Is this more a little more gain?
no, this is, it's like a, I'm not allowed, like it's a B-Man.
What's is it gainy or intended to be more?
The red channel
It's
kind of
like
gets
that-
plexi-like.
It's like that silver amp you keep bothering me to borrow all the time.
I was going to ask about that. No, but they have.
But
what
I
is
use
considered
this-
a bass. can I say
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
A basement
You can, I
emulation. Is
can't.
that? There's one that's bassman like, and he has a great bassman. So
Oh yeah. The front of house guys love this module.
I bet.
Yeah. Oh, they go nuts for it. They're like, "Oh my god, it's so clean." Is
Okay,
that
you're
red
on
or
the blue.
they love how clean the clean is.
Now,
And it takes pedals. It takes pedals really. It takes pedals great. Friedman Dirty Shirley pedal. Bucks and Boost. Friedman. I have all kinds of toys down here. Bogner Lindhurst.
Now, I just want to mention, too, on this one, too, you have a bright, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the
Now this one
T,
has
what's
separate.
the T switch for?
Let me look.
Is that a treble boost?
I believe so.
Oh, wait a minute, you're on blue. Hold on. Oh, it's a three-way. All right, hold on.
Come on, it's a family show, Jeff.
Just different tone structures.
Yeah, but that last one up there, it's got more chunk to
It's
it.
got meat. And I have no pedals kicked in except that one delay. Okay, no delay.
I'm curious about, like, for him, that he's doing country stuff, but he's also doing gaining kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a Bogner user. What in there is kind of close to that I'd
Well-
love to hear him try to dial in.
Oh yeah,
know, something like that.
I mean, actually,
This
Because
one, right?
you've already.
his plug.
I think if he was doing
with
try
the
this
basement
one.
and some pedals.
Try this one. Give him the. Go ahead and plug him in.
And give,
No,
let
keep
him-
that
no,
guitar.
Keep the.
What about
Keep
this,
that.
this,
Just
Give him
unplug
one.
from there.
what about this line, Jeff?
Oh, I knew
Steve?
that. I'm a medium paid professional. I
The
knew that.
power of being able to dial the amp.
And he's got P90s too, which is for different
A
animals.
whole different deal. That's just straight.
That's the blue channel, the clean one.
Can you add a little grit to it? Oh, that with these, yeah.
First,
perfect,
I'll
yeah.
add compression. Kind of a clean country compression. And by the way, that's the Bogner Lindhurst compressor with the Rupert Neve transformer in it. One of the best compressors I've ever used. All right. Now for a gritty compression. This is a Friedman Circum Pre, which has its own kind of voice and has a gain to it, but it's also compressible. I use this pedal a lot.
That's nice. It really hold. You can still
Yeah.
really keep the character of the notes as it dirties up, which is always.
Now
a
this
thing.
one, check this out. This is a brand new pedal that I stole from the shop. It releases April 20th. But this one is a new one by Wampler. It's called the Equator, and it has all these mid controls. There's, equalizers are really a great tool in a board, and they don't get used enough. That's all I used to use for overdrive. Is a graphic EQ.
And hit the front of it.
And you just hit the front of it, so it's got
yeah.
level. But the nice thing is, your bass and treble is always going to kind of, once you dial it in, it's going to stay about the same. Where you get in trouble is the mids in different rooms. So this has all kinds of mid control. But anyway, here's just the clean version. You see, it pushes it into overdrive really well.
Yeah, that is.
And then
nice.
another clean
Yeah.
boost is the Bucks and Boost. Friedman.
Nice.
Dave Friedman has ears. That boy can hear tone, man.
And these are our P90s too for everybody that's might be watching us. That guitar
And then
sounds great.
to go all the way crunchy, here's the Dirty Shirley pedal. So yeah.
to describe them.
So, really fun stuff.
Now, go ahead and just show the cameras right there so they can see this guitar. And so he's got the P90s on this, and this is a Friedman made by Grover Jackson.
Yep.
It's a beautiful guitar.
Feels great.
It's a great one.
Different, really different
I
neck.
like
The chunkier
I
neck.
like, yeah, I'm really into the chunky necks.
Yeah, I love it. On a telly, there's nothing like that.
It's a really dig in kind of
Yeah.
neck. It's cool. What's on the strap?
Well, this isn't a Strat. This is Tally. We have a vintage S, which is Strat-like, and they usually you can order them 3 singles, but they usually come with a Dave Friedman design humbucker and Dave Friedman design 2 singles. And like I say, Grover Jackson
Just
hand
not-
wires them.
Not that common to have an amp maker who's also making super high end. It's and
Well,
guitars. not that
pedal
common.
boards and pedals
Yeah,
and
it's like
power
he's
supplies.
covering
and-
a lot of ground here.
Oh man, I mean, we have a Wawa coming out. It's
and,
awesome.
and there is a Bogner module coming.
Yes,
And what is that based on?
Ubershaw.
Ubershaw.
Yeah, we also have an Engel Savage. There's all kinds of stuff coming. It's
What
so
is
fun.
it, Jeff, that you have? You just.
I just got the Goldfinger.
Oh, I love it. I had a Goldfinger
Yeah,
for a
it's
long
new
time.
one that
I
just
love
came
that.
out. I heard
Beautiful.
it and I was like, okay,
Now,
that's it.
what module would you use if you wanted to get like a super reverb?
Probably the T Deluxe.
The T Deluxe?
Yeah, it's voiced like a twin on the blue and a I think it's a Blackface Deluxe on the red.
Because that's another sound that's not used a lot because the amps are so
So
bulky.
big.
But
Yeah,
it's a
super
great
reverb.
sound.
Oh, 335 and a super reverb. Holy moly!
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
nothing like it.
But I mean, a lot of my friends that used to play with brass sections and stuff, it's perfect. It cuts not too much depth, so that not too much bottom end, so the bass has got plenty of room. But for funk and R&B groups, it was the perfect.
Yeah.
So we got about 20 minutes. So I guess these amazing things that are sitting behind you.
Oh, well, we got amps. We got
Okay,
amps.
did we go through everything that we wanted to on the pedals?
There's a whole board full of Bogner pedals down there.
Yeah,
It'd take about a week to do that.
All
Oh,
right,
by the
well,
way,
well-
well, as far as pedals go, you can't see these. I've talked about some on my board. This is my own personal board. There's an ethereal on it by Wampler, which is a dual layer delay with reverb. What am I plugged into? I'm
You
not.
need to.
Here.
That same problem I just had in reverse. I'll never claim to be smart.
You
Smart
are-
is nowhere on my resume.
I don't know. You're a genius when it comes to these tones.
So that's just a slap that I have. But the ethereal sounds like this.
So it's a modulated
Reverb
delay.
tank modulation, the delay kind of.
Yeah, it has separate controls for the reverb and the delay, so you can use one or the other. But hear the reverb. It's really pretty.
Oh, that's cool.
But does it do a modulation? I heard it modulate a little bit.
Well, you know what? It's because it's on a subdivision. Now it's on quarter note. Yeah, it has subdivisions too. So yeah, that's just so. It's just really pretty.
That sounds really cool.
So that's that pedal. I think that does it for my board. Then we move over to the Bogner board, and there's a bunch of pedals from Bogner there. There's the Lyndhurst compressor. There's the Oxford Fuzz. Those are both with Rupert Neve transformers in them. And you're welcome to check those out as you go.
These
Are they
these
plugged in?
Yeah, these are.
Yep.
Oh, are they? What are they plugged in?
They're plugged into the
Imperial.
Tone King Imperial.
Would you like me to engage here?
Try the compressor first.
Which is
Well, we did the compressor on my. I have the same compressor on my board. So go with the Fuzz,
which is
the green one, Oxford. It should be set up. hit some, hit just some like fifths. See here the fuzz? Very crunchy fuzz. And it's very dialable.
And chunky without being zizzy.
Yeah.
We're doing kind of.
Well, you can control the ziz. There's a tone structure on there and fuzz structure on there.
But he's getting all the harmonics. Listen to that. He's getting that squonk. There you go.
Yeah. Isn't that gnarly? Okay, so that's the fuzz. Then we have the Burnley. These three came out about the same time. The Burnley, the Wessex, and the Harlow. Different, and they also have the Neve transformers in them. Wildly popular. They're just really
different gains. That's yeah.
So that's the Burnley. Wessex.
And this is all going into the Tone King, which is behind right here.
Tone King Imperial. Marcus. Now, granted, you're not really hearing. We have these dialed back to. I've got the attenuators all the way off.
Yeah, the amps
you're
are low,
really
but
hearing
but you can hear with a microphone, and I'm not even using the Audio Technicas, but the Sterling here, it's sounding really nice. It's getting a nice full sound.
The Burnley, you could hear what it was doing to the tone.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, that's really cool.
Now try the Harlow.
What's the idea with the Harlow?
It's a more subtle sound. It's just a overdrivey, a little bit of compression. It's just a different voice pedal. Then you have these were extremely popular. The Ecstasy Blue and Red.
These, right?
Now, see the empty spot on the two empty spots on the board?
Uh-huh.
Those were for Red and Blue Minis. That are just coming out, but they're the only two we had, so I had to take them off. And it says we're still working on them. They're going to be, I can't remember when the release date is. I want to say it's maybe May, but
Well, for somebody that was used to using them a lot too, the fact that you're going to get a mini
yeah, but
is awesome.
try the blue first.
Just on it already.
It's Isn't that ridiculous? It's it. Yeah. Now try the red.
Super thick.
Well, the Ecstasy has your two. It's got the blue section and the red section. So those are.
Oh, these are just
so
the
the
two
red
voices.
is a higher gain. Is the higher gain version of the Ecstasy.
Yeah, on P90s is a little weird.
With all that gain, you're going to get some noise.
Well,
Where the blue is quieter.
you also have the fluorescent lights, which actually this is doing really well
Yeah.
with the fluorescent lights.
Well, that's Dave's power supply and buffer bay. Quiet. And then you got your Uberschall.
Hit the boost. Let's see.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it. And then the Lagrange.
Those are sweet.
Isn't that great?
And they're going to be coming a mini pedal too?
Variac setting?
Mm-hmm. It's a power soak.
Yeah. That's great.
All right, so let's talk amps real quick because we probably don't have much time. Again, like I said, Friedman is one thing, and I think JP, you're plugged into this little monster. This is a mini Dirty Shirley. Dirty Shirley is the if BE was your brown sound, Dirty Shirley was your more classic rock sound, and it's a killer amplifier. This is the mini version of it with a 10-inch speaker.
We borrowed one at a gig in Wisconsin.
Dirty Shirley?
Oh yeah.
40 watt?
Oh my god.
Oh, it's
Yeah, that was Steve Edwards.
Can I swear on
Hi,
this?
Steve.
No, we have kids.
Okay.
It
It's the excrement. It should ship with a diaper. So that
Well done.
this is
God, I worry about you.
don't just join in like you normally do. So he makes me look like
Oh, I know,
Poppins.
JP.
So again, we can't turn it up, unfortunately, but I mean, it's just a wicked sounding little beast. Little 20-watt amplifier with all the tone you could ever want. Gain structure switch, so here's mellow. There's a little bit less mellow. And then there's your full gain. But a very bluesy gain, you know, it's really classic and nice. So that's that one. Then, you know, like you say, you see more Friedmans on stage than you do Marshalls anymore. I mean, it's so many stars use Friedmans. So what I tell people about Joe Morgan is that what Dave did for the sound of Marshall, Joe, in my humble opinion, or less than humble opinion, does for Fender Vox voicings. It's what you always wanted your Fender to sound like, and it just never would. No clanginess, no this, no that. Now I use, this one's an MVP 23 combo. I use an MVP 23 Live myself. Let me see, what am I plugged into?
Are these all
I plugged into
6v6s
that.
or?
No, this is EL34.
Do you want
Yeah, there is, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move you over to that
Yeah.
that bad boy.
And again, I've got it. He has a different way to do attenuation. I think it comes on the front end. It's called power level, and it's. I wish I could turn it up and show you, but I have it turned all the way off. It goes to a 1/4 watt. But this is kind of voiced after a dumble, and so I like it to be where I dial back on the guitar. It's a little clean. When I get it up there, it starts to get a little hair, you know.
Yeah, it gets that bloom. That
Yeah,
bloom tone.
and then turn it all the way up, and it's got some singing kind of, and then you add pedals to that, and so that's kind of how I set it up. But incredible amplifiers. His voicings are just so pretty, you know, right? And that's got. Let me see. It can get real gain. And that's just no pedals, no, you know. And I've got the gain at about 10 o'clock. And if I cranked it, I don't think I can get it any quieter. It's pretty silly what it'll do.
That is nice.
But yeah, I don't like that much gain normally. I'll use pedals for that.
It's a great sounding amp. I mean, we really have it tuned down.
Way down.
When you let the speaker voice, it's gonna sound even 10 times.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, Morgan amps are incredible. He's got a ton of different models. We made a special all wood cabinet version for Rusty Anderson with playing with Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
He's got him out live. A lot of country stars use these amps. A lot of guys. The Josh Smith model just came out.
Oh, really?
Oh, Josh.
JS12.
Oh, Josh is using the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've
JS12.
seen it in his videos.
Oh, it's ridiculous, and what a ridiculous player! Holy moly! So there's that, and then of course we own Tone King as well. So we bought that from Mark Bartel, and we tried to stay as. And who's plugged into that? That's you.
that you?
That's you. You're in the Tone King.
I think you're in the tone.
Okay, and you're in the Morgan,
Yep.
and he's in the Friedman.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all set for the amp.
Yeah. How close are we to the end? Probably pretty darn.
We got a few minutes, but go ahead,
But
continue
the-
what you were saying.
The Tone King, kind of a Fender voicing, an American vintage voicing, again, without all the clang and all. It comes with an onboard attenuator as well. It's the Iron Man 2 that's built into it, which is also a Tone King product. But I have that dialed all the way down to nothing. I think it's like a 1/4 watt, something like that. But these things, I wish I could turn them up and show you what they all sound like. But
Now the Tone King is voiced like a Fender, or
Fender.
for like a Marshall.
No, like a Fender.
So okay,
Like a
so the
very
Morgan
American
and
sound.
Morgan's like a little Dumble. The Tone King's like a Fender with a lot of gain.
Yeah.
And
well, actually, the Morgan's like Dumble-ish voicing. He has the AC20, AC40. Those are obviously ACs. That voicing. He also has RCA 35R, which is one of my favorite voicings he had. It's very Fendery, very chimey, and it just breaks up gorgeously. Is that a word, gorgeously? I don't know.
Sure.
Works.
SW50. He's got a lot of different models, but this particular one is kind of voiced Dumble-y, Fendery.
Now, real quick, because we got about 2 minutes, and then we can take ourselves out. Let's talk a little bit about the Friedman Guitars. Is that an alder body with a maple neck rosewood fingerboard?
This is a Floro fingerboard. The rest you got right.
Okay.
Alder.
And what's the pickups?
This
They're
is
the Grovers?
Yeah, these are Dave Friedman design humbuckers. These are the standard and the plus. A little tiny bit hotter, but they're very classically voiced. When I picked this up, I expected it to be very gainy, very because it's Dave Friedman, gain, and I was shocked to find out that. I talked to him and Grover about him. He said, "No, man, they made him right old school." So they're very musical. They're very
Not as much
percussive.
gain, more tone.
More tone.
Yeah. Now that tele, what's that? That's
And this
ash?
is, by the way, called a Cali. So it's a kind of a California idea. One knob, two humbuckers. That kind of a deal with a Floyd. More metally. Then we have the Vintage S. Matter of fact, I have one of those on my phone. I don't know if you could see it. Probably not.
You'll have to post it.
Yeah, we'll post it, and you can see it on my Facebook page. I have them posted there all the time. And then this one, of course, is Vintage T. They come in all kinds of different pickup configurations. This one has P90s. You can order any pickup configuration you want, and we have a lot of really cool pickups. We sell our pickups now too. And then we have
And that's ash. That's ash body.
It is not. That is I want to say it's.
Alder.
It might be Alder. I think that's an Alder. I'd have to look at the model number, but I'm pretty sure it's Alder. But we do have Ash, which are a lot. They're a little bit of an upcharge, but they're so light. Oh my God. And then we have on the Metro Ds, which is a set neck, comes in usually with the humbuckers, but people have ordered them other ways too, and they come non-relict or relict and they're just fantastic playing guitars. They're not a Les Paul. We purposely steered away from.
Mm-hmm.
But they're Les Paul-ish, I suppose. And some of those have ash bodies, and they're like no weight at all. And then he's got these flame maple tops that are just unbelievable. So I can't stress enough how much I love Grover Jackson. I really can't.
Well, we're out of time, and I just want to mention boutiqueampsdistribution.com.
Yeah.
Boutiqueampsdistribution.com. And the phone number is 323-277-4119.
4111.
411.
Or 4100 will get you there.
Okay,
My
4100.
My extension's 104.
Extension 104. And you can call in and do you have like a showroom down there to take a look at them, or you come by?
We're a manufacturer, so
you-
it's
yeah.
yes, I have a show. I wouldn't call it a showroom necessarily, but yes, I have a place you can try out stuff.
Okay, and then where are you playing? Because you're doing a bunch of different things.
Oh, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. Gosh, I'm coming. I'm playing with a Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young tribute called Deja Vu.
Mm-hmm.
Our next show is at Alva's showroom, April 8th.
Which is an awesome band. Fabulous.
Thank you so much. We play a lot at Rock and Brews. We're coming back there soon. San Manuel Casino. We have a couple of nights at Candlelight Pavilion coming up. But yeah, if you just look up Steven Elowe, E-L-O-W-E, on Facebook, I post
He posts
every
up
week
there.
where I'm playing and with whom, because it's God knows who.
And then JeffreyMarshallMusic.com, and
right.
you have the band Bleeding Harp is what you're playing with right now?
I do, yeah. We're playing actually Thursday.
Thursday. Okay, we're at.
Ireland's 32.
Oh,
Irish
cool.
Pub in the Valley.
Yeah, man.
Play there once a month.
But
Always
he's
a
also
fun
touring
hang.
on the planet with Mr. Lautizer
Yeah, I've been playing with Lau Tizer Band.
And the
new
fo-
CD just came out.
and the
CD,
fall
DVD.
show with, yeah, that's awesome. The new
Yeah.
DVD, Songs from the Swing House.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then you did a little bit of work with Mr. Parsons.
I
in
did
the
a
fall.
little tour with Alan Parsons
Yes.
project in November. Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
still holding you to it to get Alan Parsons here. No, I'm a big fan of Alan Parsons.
Yeah.
And Carbe Durand. What are you guys doing?
We are right now recording the new Incendio CD. We're
Okay.
doing drums soon, and recording some other friends, and have an amazing lineup set up for this summer already. So we're going to announce that probably
When
in about
do
a
you
month.
think the album's coming out?
Probably the fall,
Fall.
early
So
fall, late summer, early fall.
So they will be here in fall because we will go through that album. So that's
Fine tooth comb.
yes. Is Bleeding Heart coming out with an album?
We are. It's a long process. It's a long story, but yes, we're basically sitting on it right now. We had a guy shopping it for us.
Okay, because when you're ready to release too, we should have the group come on
that's
for
right around
sure.
the corner now.
Again, I want to thank all of you guys for coming down. It's great, and it's been a long time coming.
I know we
If
talked
I
about
can,
this a long time
if
ago.
I can just pull a pun out of Crosby's doesn't ask. Yes, but I'm glad we able to get you finally on the show. JP, Liza, it's always great to see you guys, and Jeffrey. I look forward to the new album. Okay, so I'm gonna say goodnight to everybody. Check out again boutiqueampsdistribution.com, and I'm gonna let these guys take us out.
Somebody take it.
Yeah.